What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas, fan of one here, and today, I gotta tell you, I'm very stoked about this next figure review. And this actually, I had to do this before the finale, which, as you guys may or may not know, is going to be the Studio Series 86 Commander Class Ultra Magnus, at least the finale for the year. And I just happened to go to a Walmart that I usually don't stop at, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Soundwave, Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, and Ravage. So yes, I did get myself a Soundwave. I was able to acquire one, and I did manage to score this. So, y'all know the rules though. We're not going to take a look at all this first. We're going to take a look at said packaging first, because the packaging is quite nice. And doing so, you're going to be basically seeing this. You got Laserbeak here, you got Soundwave, you got Ravage, and then on this side, there's no Buzzsaw, but I'm going to assume Buzzsaw is the one in here. However, why would that be Buzzsaw? Because those are red. I don't know. But anyways, on this side of the packaging, you got a nice, very beautiful image of Soundwave. This exact image right here, just in a little bit of a bigger, blown-up form. And here we have the back of the packaging, where it shows off everything going on here. And we got I've got a couple quarrels with this figure, but we'll get into those later. It does show that you do have all 3 cassettes here, which is quite nice. I'm glad they even bothered to give us 3 cassettes, considering the fact that the last couple of cassettes were in multi-packs, and the 2 prior cassettes for this guy came out in core class. So, yeah. On this side here, you've got a nice image of the fallen Autobot city. And then we're back to the front. Oh, and on top, there's just nothing but Transformers the movie, Soundwave, Buzzsaw, Laserbeak, and Ravage. So, that being said, we are going to take a look at Soundwave. We are going to take a look at Buzzsaw. We are going to take a look at Laserbeak. And we are going to take a look at Ravage. However, I would like to just point one thing out here before we continue. We'll start with the core classes and work our way up to this, okay? So, for future reference, they all still plug in exactly the same. They all still fold into the chest quite nicely. So, Ravage is just an example. And you can still pop it open, and you can still pull the little figure out. So, everything is still there. I think without further ado, I think we should just get into... Let's get into Ravage while we're at it here. So, we'll remove Soundwave for the moment, and we will work on these little guys here. So, let's remove those little dudes for a moment, and let's take a quick look at this mold, which I gotta say I'm quite excited for, because this is the Studio Series 86 Steeljaw mold as well. And I just gotta say, they've done a really good job, because you can almost barely not tell that this is the Studio Series 86 Steeljaw mold. The only reason you would know that is because of this little peg here, and because of his accessories, which I would like to really quickly take a quick pause to this. Hasbro, thank you. You gave me a bag. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. All the accessories for this guy came in a bag. I am so tired of that trash, nasty tissue paper they keep giving us in these packaging and wrapping everything up expecting like nothing's gonna happen. This I like, because that ensures that everything is in there, and if there's something that's not in there, they can get to you and get you your replacement part. So, the first accessory we'll take a look at here, considering the fact that we've got a couple of them, let's take a look at his hindquarters, otherwise known as his tail section, which, you know, I know is not exactly right for it all, but, you know, hey, I mean, Ravage is one of those characters that you definitely don't want to mess up the transformation, to which I messed up these, at least the placement of them in the live stream. So, no worries on that front. But this will peg in, or not peg, yeah, it'll peg into the figure down here, but we have to get it into robot mode first, and to do that, we're going to start now. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this, and you're going to swing it around, and that's going to form the head, and then you're going to come to this bottom half here. I'm going to untab it. It's on a ball joint, or not untab it, but it is on a ball joint. You're going to want to bring these legs all the way around, like so. And then you're going to want to, good Lord, bring these pieces down a little further. So fold those pieces down, flip down the legs, the little hind legs, and then you're going to take these and you're just going to swing this whole thing forward. This is very, very, very difficult, sort of. I do remember, that's what I'm messing up. You're supposed to rotate these all the way around. My apologies, folks. It's been a minute since I've messed with this mold. And then this is supposed to, I'm going to assume this is just supposed to rotate all the way around. And then flip these back down like so. And there you have all of that done like that, I guess. And then to plug in the tail, you're supposed to plug it in like this. But there's no clippy parts for this to go in. So I don't know what's gonna happen with that, because this is supposed to have a bolt. This is supposed to clip onto his hindquarters here, but it's not gonna. I don't know why it's not gonna, but it's not gonna. So it's just frustrating with this. So yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. So I did have it in the right direction. There's a little tab piece that's going to go down there, and you're going to take this and you're going to just clip it in to the hind of all of this. It's supposed to clip in right in here. So let's try this again. There we go. Fold these back down, and there you have Ravage in his robot mode, and I think it looks really cute and really cool. I apologize. There was supposed to be something for this, and I couldn't remember how to put it into Ravage's body here. So, and then take this, bring this all the way down, and there you have Ravage in his robot mode. So we'll remove him. And because these two are exactly the same, we're not really going to change much. So first thing you're going to do with Buzzsaw to get this guy in his robot mode, much like how you're going to have to do this with Laserbeak, and because I don't have fingernails, this is where we have problems. There we go. So, had to use my little spuddy tool. So, there we go. Flip up the head. Take these wing pieces and fold them forward. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold those forward. Take these sections, bring them all the way down, like so. And then take the wings and bring them all the way back. And then you got Buzzsaw, but we're not done quite yet. There's these two little ports right there. You're going to take this. You're going to get all of the guns into this configuration, and all the guns, they come with one of these, and they come with two of these. So you want to make sure that these two plugs right here are going to go right into here. So I'm going to do that, and there you have Buzzsaw. Now we're almost done with this, and let's get Laserbeak up and at him. So take this, fold it forward. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold that forward. Flip this back down. Fold these arms all the way around, and then I'll get my little spuddy tool, and we'll get the head out, which is very frustrating. One moment. Got it. Jeez Louise. That was frustrating. So the one thing I do not like about these guys is that their heads are almost nearly impossible to get, out of this little groove here. And then, of course, you're going to take this, and you're going to plug it into Laserbeak, like so. And there you have Laserbeak, Buzzsaw, and Ravage. And because these are the cassettes, we're going to bring in the other cassettes. So here they are with Rumble, here they are with Frenzy, and finally, here they are with Ratbat. And I gotta say, The only thing missing is Soundwave to be in robot mode here, so I guess I gotta work. I guess I gotta get busy on him now. So, anyways, I'm going to snap my fingers, and when I do snap my fingers, all these guys are going to disappear, and Soundwave is going to be right there. Ready? Ready? Oh, it's almost like magic. Almost like magic. It showed right back up. So, anyways. So now that we've got all the little cassettes out of the way and we've got Soundwave here, let's take a quick look at this. And I must say, this is miles better than the Earthrise Netflix Soundwave and the Legacy United Soundwave, and or pretty much any of the Legacy Soundwaves. This thing beats all of them, hands down. So, anyways, as I stated before, you do have this nice little piece here that you can definitely open and close. You have a nice little port here because these two pieces right here are going to, or at least one of them is going to go right here and the other one's going to be a gun. There is one drawback, and it looks good from the front, looks amazing from the front. It's when you turn it around. No, not a real big fan of this back here. This back is definitely nothing close to what the back of a tape deck looks like. So, yeah, definitely no. But from the front, looks amazing. From the top, looks pretty darn good. In fact, this could also be redone as a headphone jack. So, if there's any third-party companies out there, you know, hey, see if you can make yourself like some Transformer retro headphones, and you could definitely plug them in there, and you'd have yourself a cassette player or a Walkman. You then have yourself your cassettes and you got your headphones. So I was just wondering if Hasbro would ever consider that. Please. Anyways, so now that we've got this guy here, let's get him into scale comparisons, because y'all know we love those scale comparisons. So here he is next to Studio Series 86 Scourge. Here he is next to Studio Series 86 Galvatron. Gotta say, these new paint jobs on these figures are just doing wonders for them. Here he is next to Studio Series 86 Megs. Here he is next to his Dark of the Moon counterpart from the Studio Series Deluxe classes. And just because, here he is with Studio Series 86 Scavenger. Just because. Alright, now that we've done that, now that we've got the cassette bots in here, let's get this guy into his robot mode. And to do so, it's very simple, very easy. You might actually recognize some of this transformation. So, you're going to take this panel, you're going to bring it all the way up. At least that's what I like to do first, just to get some stuff out of the way. Then you're going to come to this back section of these arms, and you're just going to wiggle them until the legs come loose, because there are two tabs back here on the back of the legs. There's a spot right here for that piece to go into it, and there is a spot here for that to go into it as well. So take that, and then I like to do this just right off the bat. Rotate everything immediately. Yeah, so do that, and then you're going to come to these sections. You're just going to push them all the way in like so. Do the same thing like that. They're on a small accordion joint, so everything should go in right. There, so there's that, and there we have all the arm. Now, this is what you want everything looking like at this current moment. So next, you're going to want to flip up this panel here, and then you're going to come to this. You're going to flip out the foot, close that up, fold that back in, straighten it out, fold that back in too, rotate the foot, and then rotate at this mushroom peg here on the thigh. Come to this back butt plate real quickly, and we're just going to take these bits and we're just going to fold them all on in like so. And we're just going to close that back down. Let's get the other leg done, then we'll work on the backpack. So next thing you can do on this leg again, just open up this panel, take this, take his foot, fold it down, flip the piece in, rotate it around, straighten it out, close up all those gaps, straighten it back out again here, and then it comes to this panel, these panels back here. These are just going to slide out. They do loosely tab in here, and I do like to remove these. You don't have to if you don't want to. You know, it's not, you know, it's going to be your toy. You can do what you want with it, but I like to do this because it just makes my life a little bit easier later on down the road. Now, you could classify this as parts forming, but you can also transform it without these in there, so no big deal. Let's transform the gun real quick. I'm going to take this, pop this out, and then this one, we'll just take this and pop it up there a little later. So, take this back panel again. Actually, real quickly, before you do that, you're going to take these panels and close them all the way up on this backpack section right here. Then you're going to, actually, don't do that. Open it back up. I apologize. Open it up. You're supposed to flip out the head, if it'll flip out. Jeez. Flip out the head. Make sure it tabs into place. Then close up these back panel pieces. And then we're on the home stretch. Take this bottom bit here, flip out the hand, close that back up, do the same thing on the other side, flip this down, fold this out, clip this back in, fold that back in, almost done, and then we're going to take the gun, pop that right in his hand, and we're going to take the cannon, and we're going to shove that right on his shoulder. And there you have Studio Series 86 Soundwave in his robot mode. And oh my, yeah, I'm happy. I am so stinking happy. Hasbro, you knocked it out of the park with this one. And the only reason I say you knocked it out of the park with this one particularly is because this one should not look as this good. And here's my favorite part. It's coming off better on camera than it is in person. Like, you guys are seeing a black chest right here. You guys are not... What you're not seeing is that this is clear plastic. It's 100% clear plastic. And yet, it looks almost as if there's nothing in the chest. Or it's already... Or not as in there's nothing in the chest, but it's like it's a blacked out chest. I can't complain with that. There is one thing you can do if you really do want to do it. You don't have to, but you can. We're going to get him into a fan mode real quickly, and then we'll get him into his final scale comparison. Then we'll get all, all the cassettes going on in there. One thing you can do, and nobody's really notioned to this yet, but you can make him into... Let's pull these panels back out a bit here. Like, you definitely can make him into the, what was it? I can't remember what it was. It was the freaking, like, telephone light or something on Cybertron that he, like, was being in disguise for. So you can definitely do that. So there's that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, you're supposed to also fold these like that, and there you go. There's the Cybertronian lamppost that I don't understand how that's even a mode, but whatever. So let's get everything back the way it was, and then let's get to scale comparisons and everything else. So straighten all this back out. Flip said hands back out one more time. So they did give him some opposable hands, so that way he doesn't look like that. He doesn't look like the Legacy United version. And the Legacy United version, while it was a good figure, it did suffer from its issues. So, like, for example, that figure, the trigger fingers were always like straight out pointing. It was just not. It just didn't look good. This looks a bit better. So. Alright, so now that we've gotten him in robot mode, let's get him into scale comparison, and then let's get all the cassette bots in here for a family photo. So, alright. So, let's move you off to the side. Here he is next to Studio Series 86 Scourge. Here he is next to 86 Galvatron. Here he is next to 86 Megs. And I gotta be honest, come on, we need Shockwave. Come on, where's Shockwave? Come on. Hasbro, get with the program. Where's Shockwave? So, here he is with his Dark of the Moon counterpart. And just because, once again, here he is next to 86 Scavenger. Alright, now that we've got you ready to go, let's bring in this guy. There's Ratbat. Let's bring in Rumble. There's Frenzy. Ravage. Buzzsaw. And because he's a special bot, I'll do this for him and him only. Here he is with Laserbeak. Now, Megatron has these tabs on his arm, or on both of his arms here. He has tabs on both of these arms. I have tried every freaking which way possible to get these guys to sit on Megatron's arm, and they just don't want to. I don't know what the problem is or why they don't want to. They just don't want to. Like, I don't know what the problem is. I have tried. I even tried on the live stream with Laserbeak many a times, but you cannot put Laserbeak on Megatron's arm. So, unfortunately, he cannot be the better of the warriors that never fails him. So, unfortunately, that's the case. However, let's dive into ranking everything. So, if I have to throw this out there, yes, this is technically a piecemeal set. Yes, this is a piecemeal set. Yes, you're gonna have to buy Rumble and Frenzy, and you're gonna have to buy the More Than Meets the Eye Perceptor if you want to get Ratbat, and you have to purchase Soundwave if you want Ravage, Laserbeak, and Buzzsaw. So those are the only ways that I am aware of that you can get any of these characters, because a lot of this stuff, as I stated previously, is piecemeal. So you have to buy a lot of this stuff separately. However, I like what I'm seeing. This is exactly what we wanted with Studio Series 86. This is exactly what we wanted. We wanted a Soundwave that was completely accurate to the cartoon and the movie. He has the red eyes, and we wanted him to come with Laserbeak. We also wanted all the cassettes to come out. And then when Legacy United released that embarrassing 4-pack with, what was it? Buzzsaw, Rumble, and, did it come? Yeah, and it came with Ravage. So it didn't even come with Laserbeak. It came with a reissue of this guy and like a very like the Siege versions of this guy, this guy, and the Earthrise version of this guy. So all of that was frustrating. However, if I once again have to rank this thing entirely, because it is a piecemeal set and because you can technically get a hold of all of it, I'm going to throw this thing a 7.85 out of 10. Now, the biggest reason why it's getting a 7.85 out of 10 instead of an 8 or a 9 or even a 10 is because you have to piecemeal all of this. Oh my gosh, these two guys are going for almost just as much as, like, minus this, these two guys here are going for just as much as Soundwave, Laserbeak, Ravage, and Buzzsaw to go with it. So these two here are expensive as all get out right now. So if you were lucky enough to get them in the beginning, keep them and hold on to them, because they definitely will be going back up in price again. But if you also have Soundwave, great, because then you have all your cassettes, then you got all of everything in the nature. So now, if I am to minus these, the set immediately jumps up another point. And the reason for that is because you get the iconic Soundwave, and you get the two basic Soundwave cassettes. Like, for example, Ravage and Laserbeak are the two most known for Soundwave, outside of Rumble and Frenzy due to their controversy. So, if I'm to rank this just the way it is as right now, I think it deserves a 7.85. Nothing higher, nothing lower. And anything usually above like a 5 or a 6, it's usually a 7.85 out of 10 is a definite recommend. And if anything lower than a 5 is a what are you doing with this? This is not a worthwhile figure. However, it's your money, you spend it the way you want to. So, yeah. If I'm to rank this with all of the cassettes in there, it's an 8.85. It's a 7.85, and if I have to minus the 3 cassettes that came piecemeal, then I will have to put this thing at a 7.85. So, yeah. Anyways, that is it for the review for the Transformers Studio Series 86 Leader Class Soundwave and the core classes of Laserbeak, Ravage, Buzzsaw, Ratbat, Frenzy, and Rumble. So, I seriously am excited that these guys are finally here, because finally we're about to finish out our movie G1 Decepticons, finally. So, anyways, this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to subscribe for more content, don't forget to leave a like on this video, and do not forget to check out my other Transformers playlist reviews, especially the Studio Series 86 ones, and the Studio Series ones, period, because we are approaching a very large number of them, which is quite nice. And lastly, I'm going to tell you guys, do not forget to subscribe to iStar552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, Little Corey Tucker from Facebook. Also, do not forget to check out, Night Warrior or something of that nature. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I've made notion to him in the last live stream, so please go check that out if you can. And let's see. Let's also throw out Lemon Lime Studios. Let's also throw out Zaga the Animator, Kitten Cat 999, Riveted Railfan, Riveted Reviews, Patrick's Voice Rail, Alexander Rothschild, and Jordy's Rail videos. So do not forget to check all of them out. And this is Thomas Fan 01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.